Hello everyone, this is Juana and I'm here today to share with you some glassine bags that I had been working on. Finally got around to finishing them and let's get started. So I'll start with set these aside and start with this one. This one was the first one I made and I was pleased with it until I made the other ones, and you'll see what I mean. This one is just pretty simple, and this glassine bag is one of the 6x4. And so I tend to cover up all of my glassine bags, but there's that sound, so you know it's in there. Anyway, I started out with this pink rag paper, and to her I added this image here, and then I used this kind of scroll Venice lace applique here, and I dyed it pink to match. You guys know I always dye my stuff pink. It's very rare that I find a light pink that I like. It's usually too sweet or too bold, and anyway, so that's that. So I added some rice beads and pearl beads to each of the flowers on that particular applique. And then I added this beautiful trim up the side that's just loaded with seed beads, and this mauve color lace trim. I outlined the whole thing in that. And then around the top here, no, I didn't do anything there. Anyway, the back, I added this corded lace fabric. It has little sequins on it. I don't know if you should be able to see it glittering. And then I made a pocket, added this trim, and added a little library card to this pocket, which you can journal on the back. And then we go inside, and in here I just put a little notebook. And I used this beautiful trim from KS4U. I tea-dyed it and added some pink lace to it. I added some flat back pearl beads all over the front. She is bound with the pamphlet stitch. And all it is just papers for you to journal on. In here is a little tag that I use some sequin flowers on, and this is a little scrappy pad. So that's that. And return her to her house here. And then this little bow is from KS4U also. And she has a Facebook group that you can join if you so like. This is a belly band. I just edge both sides with this lace from my stash. And here she is. She's bound with pink embroidery thread. Another belly band here. And another pocket here with another one of the bows from KS4U. And that's that for her. So like I said, I thought she was cute until I made another one. You know how that goes. So this one I did in a cream color. And this one is a larger bag. Let's see, 7 3/4 maybe, and 5. And so I covered the whole bag in this digi kit. It's a Ledger digital, And I covered front and back. And then I used this beautiful trim from KS4U, and on the front also. On the top here, I added this beautiful pleated satin trim from my stash, and I added this beaded trim also from my stash to all the little flower looking things. I added a flat back pearl in each of them. I added tiny flat back pearls going up her back to simulate the buttons on her dress. And then I made a little skirt for her using this beautiful trim here. And this is some organza trim. And then another piece of that lace. And so that's her. And inside is a little journal. And I have her tied with a length of seam binding that I bought from Donna Dreams ×3, I believe, is her handle. In here, I just added a ball pin with a couple of beads and this other bead here. And on the side, on the binding, I used the same lace that I used on the bag itself. And so just open her up, and that's the first page. And I just put quite a few pages together to make this little journal. We have tea-stained papers. So the journal is mostly blank because you're supposed to write in it. And this is a tag I made, and it's actually a pocket. And so in this pocket I have 2 tags that you can journal on. And I added this piece of lace here, and then this rococo trim. And so I just clipped it on the page with a pink paper clip from my stash. And well, this is another page here. I made a little tag bookmark thing. Beautiful paper that has a rose motif on it. And this is the center of the journal. And this is a pocket here and another pocket here. And that's that one. And so I'll just set her aside. I'll fix her up later. So then I made this one. And this one, I believe she is the same size. Yep, 7 by 5.5. And so I had this image, and I decided to use her. And I mounted her on top of a piece of lace, and I coffee dyed some, what's this called? Some bridal lace, beaded bridal lace. And then under here, I added this piece of lace, which is a collar. And this is from KS4U also. She's a flip, as you can see. And I just left this blank with the little rose design on it. And this is another page that I added some vintage lace on the bottom of it. On the back, you can see the coffee dyed glassine bag here. And I added a strip of one of the pages up here, and I also did down here, and I used that beautiful trim from KS for You. I added a little crochet doily, and to that I added a little flower here. Added some flat back pearls, and this is also a pocket that you can tuck something into. And so we go inside, and before I show you the notebook, there's this trim here. Crochet trim with Rococo flowers on there. And then I use some of that vintage trim on the spine. That paper with the roses on it. This is some stenciled paper from my stash. A piece of panel lace, bilateral scallops on each side. And so this coffee stain, tea stained, just an array of those in this journal, stenciled, coffee stained. I used some embroidery thread, and this is definitely a writing journal. And that's that. And so she just tucks right back in here, just like that. And that's what she looks like. Now, this one is one of my favorite ones also. I guess we all have a lot of favorites, right? So, she also measures 7 by 5.5. And this paper line, not sure which paper line this is. I have so many, it's hard to keep track of them. But anyway, so to the front, I added this piece of French lace. This is from KS for You also. And this trim here, I made like a little collage. Here is a piece of applique pieces. And then I added some acrylic flowers with the rhinestone in the middle. This is a lace frame. Well, it was an applique, to which I cut the middle out to make it a frame and added this beauty in here. Added a little ribbon bow and this beautiful Rococo trim with the little, I don't know what you call it. It's like glitter thread in wound in there. Okay, anyway, let's move on. So then I added flat back pearls and little rhinestones and diamante pieces to this piece, and then I made a cluster out of these flowers here, and I added a velvet leaf. And I'm not sure, I've had that for quite a while, but I believe it was from Mary Not Martha on Etsy. And then I added this trim to the spine to give it some strength. And we open her up, and this is the inside. Again, I used that trim from KS for You, and more of that trim from KS for You. I added a butterfly applique, to which I added a double organza butterfly to it, and then I added a little acrylic flower to the middle of the butterfly. And this is a little tuck spot. Over here is this pocket, and again I did my thing with the flat back pearls. I don't know why I do that, all these beading. I say I'm not gonna do all that, and then I find myself doing it. It's just something that I love. It's time consuming, but it's something that I love. Okay, let's get back to this. So here we have, you know, with the teardrop pearl beads and the tiny flat back pearl beads, another acrylic and rhinestone flower there. And this applique is from KS4U, and actually these pieces came from this applique. And then I did a little thing here with the beads on the side. This is a pocket to which there's this tag. And flip her over, and here's the glassine bag. Here's another tag with some fringe on it, and back here is a little pocket I made, and the little writing journal in this pocket with tea stained and what's that called, embossed paper and coffee stained. Another piece of embossed paper she's bound with embroidery thread, and that's that. And then if we go back here I added this big card again, lace from KS4U, and I added flat back pearls, and it is actually a belly band, but also it has a tuck spot up here, to which I added just a card to journal on. And here is one of my bows with the vintage pearl beads, and this tool is from the tag on the back. And so she tucks right back into her pocket. Oh, I'm getting caught on the back here. And so that's that one. And the last one I worked on and finished was this one. And this bag is wider than any of the others. So she measures 7 3/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, so I did this image, and let me see if I can remember what I did. Not exactly, but anyway, let's do it. So I did this image, and I covered her with tulle to protect her. I added this cute trim here on the bottom with the little polka dots and the crochet edging. I added lace, hand-dyed lace up the side and across the front. I dyed some gimp to match. We have this number here, 1880. And then I added this beautiful sequin applique. I don't know, I think it might have been a collar, I'm not sure, but anyway. And then to that I added these 3 flowers. And the back, I didn't do anything on the back. The back is plain. On the inside, I made a little cascading journal. And she's held together with tulle and lace. And then I just added a little safety pin with this glass bead that has a flower in there. And then I won't untie her. I'll just slip this off. And here we go. So the same lace that's on the front here, I added it here. I dyed it pink. I used embroidery thread to bind her. This is a tag that I made, and I slipped that into there. We've got the Rococo trim on the edge. Here is a little tuck spot, some pink dyed paper. This is a little floating pocket that I made, and inside I just added a little tag to show that it is a pocket. This beautiful trim from my stash. Some stencil paper, and just some random papers that I thought matched perfectly. And here is just paper to journal on, and I folded it over to the other side and clipped it with a pink paper clip. And then these are the other sides of the paper. Here is a trim from my stash, and this is a tag. And then this fell out. And this is what the back looks like. And this that fell out is a scrappy pad that I made. I used this beautiful trim on the top. And then I just, these are offcuts of the paper, and so I made them into a little, scrappy pad that you can journal on. And that's that. So those are my glassine bags that I wanted to share with you guys. And if anyone's interested in any of these, you can contact me through Facebook Messenger, Juana Hudson, or you can send me an email at juanalisa@yahoo.com. I will leave all the information in the description box below. And it is my hope that you enjoyed seeing these projects that I shared with you guys on, thumbs up. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my subscribers, new and forever. And have a blessed day. Bye.